Welcome to the Wellness as a Way of Life podcast, your one-stop, all-encompassing source of wellness, knowledge, wisdom, inspiration, and motivation. Here we teach you why not all wellness trends are for you, how to figure out which ones are, how to best adapt them for your personal wellness toolbox, and how ultimately to integrate your wellness practices so fully that they become to feel like brushing your teeth. A foundational part of who you are and not a check mark on your to-do list. Here we know that in order for health and wellness to be sustainable, we need a less is more approach, leaving the information overload and tips overwhelm behind. I'm your host, Megan Swan, creator of the Wellness as a Way of Life course and the Sustainable Integrated Wellness Approach. I have more than a decade of experience in the wellness industry and on my own personal wellness journey, learning how to tune into and trust my intuition and drown out all the noise. As a certified IIN health coach, detoxification expert, plant-based chef, yoga teacher, and coach, I will help you distill down the information overload and feel more confident and at ease in your own skin again. So let's swan dive in. Welcome back to Wellness as a Way of Life. This week on the podcast, I'm highlighting one of my favorite concepts. It is called awe hunting. Awe as in wonder, A-W-E hunting. Awe hunting is the most fun way to bring more magic into your daily routine and to help you feel more grounded and embodied in the present moment. It is a wellness tool, one of my favorites. It's a lot of fun, and what makes it most powerful is when you really personalize it and find something that really speaks to you. I mean, you can start with some of the suggestions that I give you here today. If it doesn't occur to you that maybe you already do it. I've actually had this conversation with many people lately, and they're like, I've always done that, but I didn't know that's what it was. Like looking for the magic in life inadvertently. So a little bit more background. Awe hunting is one tiny way to bring more magic, presence, and mindfulness into your day-to-day. It's free, it's fun, and it's effective. One of my favorite concepts, I learned this actually from the incredible Jane Clapp. I will link her website in the show notes here. She is a mentor of mine who is a trauma-informed coach, healer, professor, and somatic expert. Trust me, Jane knows her stuff. She planted this idea in me a couple of years ago in a workshop I attended. It doesn't need to be rainbows. My personal thing, by the way, that I hunt for is rainbows, or the full spectrum of light, if you prefer. But instead of rainbows, it can be something else that you are hunting for. Previous points in my life, I was constantly looking out for butterflies. When I'm at my cabin in Emma Lake in northern Saskatchewan, I look for dragonflies. There are these really special, they don't call them butterflies, essentially they're giant moths. And here locally in Chiapas, it's actually not something you really want. Culturally, they find them scary, but I actually early on found it to be endearing. They believe that it's like your ancestors or someone who's passed on visiting you. And I thought it was kind of funny because, they're so much into celebrating their dead that it was like a bad omen. But I actually, maybe I don't understand the cultural what am I trying to say? The cultural story here properly, but it seems nice, the idea to me. Like I would actually always, when I saw one of these giant butterflies, when I mean it's like if you have your whole hand spread out, that's how big this giant, sometimes they're black, sometimes they're dark brown, sometimes they have like more of a design on them, and you can really see their beauty. Other times it's just like a really dark animal, and they tend to, insect rather, hang out like in the corner top part of a room or a doorway, and they'll just be there for a few days. And when I was told that it was like a ancestor or someone who's passed on visiting you, it always seemed to me that they would come at a moment that I kind of needed some guidance, or that I'd been thinking about a certain individual that had passed away. So I always saw it as like, this bit of magic visiting me. And I kind of put that in the awe hunting category. So take it for what it is worth and make it your own. Maybe you look for the shape of a heart or the shape of a star in like everything you see, pieces of fruit, rocks, clouds, all these things. Who knows? There's so many ways to adopt this concept. And again, it becomes that much more powerful when you truly make it your own. And like many beautiful mindfulness tools, this is something that children naturally do, right? So it could be a lovely conversation that you have with your children. So the idea is that you go through your day just being a tiny bit extra present, looking for something that brings you awe. Maybe every day you need to spot the moon or a certain star you're keeping your eye on in the sky. Where is it moving? Where the sun rays come in and hit certain things. A moment with another animal. Maybe you lock eyes with your pet and you just share a moment. Or maybe there's a certain bird. My husband has a bird that he's convinced arrives at his place of work with him, and sometimes the bird perches on the rear view mirror of his vehicle. Sometimes it's waiting outside his office. Just this sort of it sparks a sentiment of awe, like a sweet little feeling inside you, right? You feel connected and more grounded and a part of nature. Of course, you are nature. So the possibilities are really endless. Like I said, everything is nature. What sparks for you personally awe in your being? Just take a few extra seconds each day to essentially smell the roses. And make it personal. That's where it becomes fun. Fun can be spiritual, and it definitely is mindful. It inevitably grounds you because you're being more present. You're looking and being more observant of your environment, and therefore grounded and present, embodied in that moment in time. Rainbows, again, are just what I personally chose to tune into lately. I have a whole folder in my phone of pictures of rainbows. And where do I find my rainbows, you might ask? I'm also going to link an article, a blog that I wrote on this, which also has a lot of these images, if you're curious. So sometimes I'm walking down the stairs in my house, and we have the 3 kids' bikes leaning against this window glass door thing. And more often than not, one of the reflectors of the kids' bikes is projecting a rainbow onto the wall. Sometimes when I'm washing dishes, you go to squirt the soap, and either in the bubbles that you're using, or there's left like a little bubble layer in the bottle of dish soap, and there it's really cool how you can see rainbows essentially reproducing and ebbing and flowing in real time. Sometimes when I'm sudsing myself up in the shower, you catch a little glimmer of light, and there's a tiny little iridescentness to the bubbles on the soap bar or on your body. And what else? Sometimes when I'm journaling out in the morning outside, and they're, with the sunrise often, and I'm using like a plastic Bic pen, I often see the sun coming through the plastic Bic pen, and it reflects like this little ring of rainbowness onto the page. So bring it on. What can you bring into your life that is magical? Be a little bit more present, hunting for awe. Until next time, big love, optimal wellness. Thanks again for listening to the Wellness as a Way of Life podcast. As you know, we love bringing you valuable content that helps you improve your wellness. This podcast is sponsored by the Wellness as a Way of Life course. The course experience is the ultimate and only wellness course you need to have in your back pocket. If you're looking to feel more confident and at ease in your own skin with consistent energy, this course is the perfect solution for you. And the best part, as a listener of the podcast, you'll get an exclusive discount on the course. Just use the promo code WELL4LIFE at checkout to receive 10% off of your purchase. That's capital W, ELL, the number 4, capital LIFE at checkout. 8 incredible women have taken the Wellness as a Way of Life course and can attest to the massive value it provides. Consisting of 60 plus audio lessons, a dozen videos, the Wellness as a Way of Life workbook, and the Wellness as a Way of Life daily tracker, menus, playlists, readings, and the Megan Swan Wellness Resource Vault. It makes it the most comprehensive, less is more, holistic wellness course on the market. So if you're ready to take your wellness skills to the next level, head over to the website linked here in the show notes and enroll in the Wellness as a Way of Life course today. Hey there, one last thing I wanted to share with you. If you are enjoying this podcast, it would mean so much to me if you could rate and review it on your favorite podcast platform. It really does help us grow the show, and this being so important to me to get this message out to more women to help them optimize their wellness and ultimately their lives. This is my mission, and I would greatly appreciate it if you could support the podcast by rating and reviewing. Thanks in advance. Have a good one.